Be our guest. Be our guest. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to sing for you. This is not story time. But I am going to make a fun Disney recipe from one of my favorite movies, The Beauty and the Beast. I had to think about that, right? I was going to say from Belle, but she's the princess in Beauty and the Beast. That's who I have on my crown today. And it's called The Gray Stuff. And this is an official recipe that was released by Disney Parks a couple weeks ago. And if you remember in the movie, Luminaire, the little candle, he says in the Be Our Guest song, he goes, "Try the gray stuff, it's delicious. Try the gray stuff, it's delicious. Don't believe me? Ask the dishes." So we're going to make the gray stuff from Beauty and the Beast today. And we just need a couple ingredients to make it. And I'm going to admit this is actually my first time making it. I haven't made it before, but I'm sure it's really yummy. So you're going to make it right along with me. Okay, so what we need for the recipe is we need chocolate pudding. You actually only need 3 tablespoons of chocolate pudding. So I just got a small box of chocolate pudding. You need 1 box of vanilla pudding. It's 3.4 ounces. So you need the whole box of vanilla pudding. You need 1 8-ounce container of Cool Whip. And you're going to need 1.5 cups of whole milk. I'm guessing you can probably use other types of milk, but the official Disney recipe calls for whole milk. And then you are going to need 15 Oreo cookies. So that is what we're going to need to make this recipe. And then I'm going to use a big mixing bowl. And the first thing that we are going to do is to mix the vanilla pudding mix. So I'm going to pour the vanilla pudding mix into my bowl. So you can see, I'm going to move all my crazy stuff out of the way. So I'm going to pour the vanilla pudding mix right into the bowl. And then I am going to measure out 1.5 cups of whole milk. So I'm going to get the trash out of the way. And then I have my whole milk right here. And I have a 1 cup measuring cup. So you can see the 1 cup on it. So I'm going to measure this out. Oops. I want to carefully measure it out. So I'll pour that in. So it's 1.5 cups. So then I have a 1/2 cup measuring cup. And I'm going to pour that into the pudding mix. So I'll pour that in. And then I'm going to take a whisk and I'm going to whisk this together until it starts to thicken up a little bit. So you're just going to mix it. You can see it's starting to thicken up a little bit. As you mix it a little bit more, it'll thicken up. You want to make sure you incorporate all of the pudding mix as you mix it. So I'm going to keep mixing this for a little bit, and then I will be right back. Okay, so I have some Beauty and the Beast trivia. Just to break it up a little bit. So what was the Beast's name in the movie Beauty and the Beast? His name was Adam, and it wasn't actually mentioned in the movie, but it came out after the fact that the Beast's name was Adam. All right, I'm back. So I've been whisking my pudding. You can see it's a lot thicker than it was. At this point, after you finish and it's pretty thick, you probably want to put the bowl in the refrigerator for a little bit. I'm just going to leave it here because I don't have a refrigerator right here in the back of the library. But if you want to take your thickened pudding just to put it in the refrigerator to get cold, the next step is going to be to count out 15 Oreos, and we are going to put them into a Ziploc bag. So I have all my 15 Oreos in our Ziploc bag, and then I'm going to close the bag up, and then I am going to smush them up. So you can also use a food processor if you want to do that. But as you can see today, I am at the library, and I do not have a food processor. So we are just going to smush them up the best we can. Really, if you take a rolling pin, you can roll them. You can use your hands like I'm going to do. But really just smush them up, and so you get really fine cookie crumbs. All right, so in the 1991, which I'm sure many of you are a lot younger than 1991. I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but I was born slightly before 1991. So in the 1991 Beauty and the Beast movie, Belle, so that's the cartoon version. So Belle is the only character in her whole village to wear blue. Did you know that? Fun trivia fact. So I just finished smushing up my Oreos. They're very fine. There's no big cookie pieces. The finer you can get them, the better. It'll be a little crunchy if you have bigger pieces. So I have my pudding mix. Hopefully you put yours in the refrigerator to so it firmed up a little bit. But I have my pudding mixed with the milk. And now I am going to take my chocolate pudding mix and I am going to measure 3 tablespoons of chocolate pudding mix. So you can see this is a 1 tablespoon. So I'm going to do this 3 times because we need 3 tablespoons of chocolate pudding mix. So I'm going to mix that in. Well, I'm going to measure that first. So 1, 2, and then 3. So let me angle my camera down so you can see. We have 3 tablespoons of chocolate pudding mix put on top of our vanilla pudding that was already mixed. And then I'm going to take the Cool Whip. So this is a whole container, which is 8 ounces of Cool Whip, or you really can use any frozen whip topping. It has been sitting out for a little bit, so it's not frozen, but you definitely want it to be cold so it doesn't melt. So it's been sitting out probably for about a half hour. So we're going to scoop all of that into the bowl. All right. And then we are going to take our Oreo cookies. And this was 15 Oreo cookies that I smashed up, and I'm going to pour them all into the bowl. So we have a lot of stuff in our bowl right now. And we are going to go and we're going to fold it together or mix it together to make our gray stuff from Beauty and the Beast. So I'm going to quickly mix it up. It's kind of a mess right now. As we mix it up, it's going to turn our gray color. The chocolate pudding mix definitely helps with that. Now we have the gray stuff from Beauty and the Beast. And the finer you make the cookies, mine's slightly chunky, but the finer you make the cookies, the more gray it will be. Mine's kind of more of a brownish color, but that's okay. I just didn't have the cookie crumbs. All right, so this is the gray stuff from Beauty and the Beast. Then you'll want to put it in the refrigerator. And then after you refrigerate it for about an hour or so, it'll get even colder and really come together. And then you can put it on a plate. The official recipe says you could eat it on like a cookie, or you could just eat it plain, or they put it in a pastry bag and made it really fancy, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to put it right onto the plate, and then you can take a spoon and eat it. And there you go. And you have the gray stuff from Beauty and the Beast. Try the gray stuff. It's delicious. Don't believe me? Ask the dishes. Be our guest. Be our guest. I'm just kidding. I'm not doing that.